Okay, it's been a while since we've done an NRL career video, but I've been meaning to do this video for a while now, since he retired at the end of last year, and that's do a career video on Shaun Johnson, one of the enigmas of the game. When fully fit and fully confident, the things Shaun Johnson could do just wowed fans. Um, Absolutely ridiculously talented player. Injuries did hamper his career, and I will talk about the injuries. He only played in one grand final, which will stun a lot of people. That was in 2011, in his debut season. So, Shaun Johnson is an enigma. There is no doubt that he's possibly one of the most talented, exciting players to ever play the game. What he could do, ball in hand, his kicking game, his passing game, his running game. There is no doubt he was like Benji Marshall, just without that grand final win. Um, People likened him to Stacey Jones. People likened him in a slight way to Andrew Joey Johns in how he could play off the cuff and play what was in front of him. So as a junior, he signed in 2009 by the New Zealand Warriors, and he plays through their reserve grade systems. He also at school played rugby union as well as rugby league, so he wasn't always destined to be a rugby league player. But rugby union loses out, rugby league gains. He makes his senior first grade debut in 2011 for the New Zealand Warriors, and the rest is history. Now, he would play with two spells with the Warriors and one spell with the Sharks. So his first spell with the Warriors was between 2011 and 2018, including playing in that 2011 grand final, where he nearly drives the team to a comeback against the Sea Eagles. Ultimately, they lose that grand final, but in his first stint at the Warriors, this is where he comes to the attention of the rest of the rugby league world. He plays 162 games in his first stint with the Warriors. He scores 63 tries. He's kicked 326 conversions or penalties or goals. He also had 13 field goals for a grand total of 917 points. In that spell, in those seasons with the Warriors, and when fully fit, I mean, the things he could do, he was an enigma. And because of this, but the Warriors are a very inconsistent team, as we know, and we've looked at the New Zealand Warriors' history over many years. They are a very inconsistent team, but when they played well, like the 2011 season was one of the best seasons the Warriors as a team, as an organisation, has ever had. They were an amazing team to watch, and with Shaun Johnson pulling the strings, he played what was in front of him. He liked playing unstructured, which is, I think, what the game lacks a little bit now. He was a very unstructured player, but he could raise the game of players around him. And in his first spell with the Warriors, they were an inconsistent team. There were periods where they were outside the eight. There were periods when they were inside the eight. But they were just a very inconsistent average team. Can you imagine if they made the finals more regularly than what they did? But because of his talents and his skills, he earns a move to the Cronulla Sharks for the 2019 season. This is where this period in his career, towards the end of his first spell at the Warriors, his entire spell at the Cronulla Sharks, and for periods in his second spell at the Warriors, injuries decimated his career. He would have played a lot more games than he actually did. You'll be surprised at how few games he actually plays. His entire spell at the Cronulla Sharks, the Sharks are an average side. There's no hiding away from that fact. They're not the best team out there. The Sharks have also had scandal off the field as well. Shane Flanagan, as head coach, has been sort of suspended, and there were changes going on at the Sharks. They were much like the Warriors, a pretty average side at this point, but it's the injuries that do him. He is brought to the Sharks to try and win them or get them back to a grand final. Now, they've won in 2016, and he's brought to the Sharks for that exact purpose, to spark life into their halves. And it's a struggle. It is a struggle with Shaun Johnson because he's injured a lot of the time. He only plays 44 games in 3 seasons. He scores 6 tries. He does kick 119 goals and 1 field goal for 263 points, but he has issues with Achilles and ankle breaks and muscular issues and pecs. He is bashed up at this point. Admittedly, he was starting to show problems at the Warriors with his fitness, but at the Sharks, he is just his time there. He's spending a lot of time out injured, and it does impact his ability on the field. He loses a bit of pace, which was part of what made him special as a player. Was he was very quick. He loses a little bit of pace. So when he returns to the Warriors, he's had to adjust his game. 2022, his first season, injuries are still having an impact. But 2023 was a brilliant season for Shaun Johnson. Probably one of the best seasons individually he has ever had. It was refreshing watching Shaun Johnson play like he was a teenager again back in 2011. It was amazing, like watching him play, and a lot of commentators and fans said that is the best he's ever played. It was prime Shaun Johnson. He stays fit for most of the 2023 season. The Warriors have a brilliant season. They make the top 8. 2024, again, the injuries come back. And he decides, and towards the end of the season, he's going to call it a day. The body is just not holding up. So in his second stint, he does, in 3 years, he plays 62 games. So he plays more games than he did at the Sharks in a similar time frame. He scores 16 tries, so his tries per game goes up. He kicks 114 goals and 4 field goals for 296 points. Now, his total club career, this is a surprise. And people think he's played more games. Because of injuries, he only managed to play 268 club games in the NRL. He did score 85 tries. We didn't even make the 100 try mark. He did kick 559 goals and 18 field goals for 1,477 points. It's with New Zealand that he has a better try per game ratio, and he really does shine with the test side, with the Kiwis. Between 2012 and 2024, he plays 35 games, 14 tries, 84 goals, 1 field goal for 225 points. He has some brilliant performances with the New Zealand Kiwis side. His final ever game at the end of last season is possibly one of his best games against PNG, where he keeps them in the top grouping in the Pacific Challenge Championship. Just a brilliant performance. And his last club game for the Warriors against the Sharks, where the Sharks are coasting through to the finals. They're looking a bit stop-start, and his final club game is possibly one of his best performances. The backs are against the wall. The Warriors, they're on the back foot. They're missing the top 8, but it's Shaun Johnson's last game. They're not even sure he's going to play for New Zealand. And he plays potentially one of the best games I've ever seen Shaun Johnson play. And they win the game, and it's that last play, that last minute, where that flick pass for the final try is just typical Shaun Johnson, pulling a rabbit out the hat right at the last minute. Now, if you look at his career as a whole, had he had less injuries, he would have played at least, 350 games, easy. He might even still be playing now. It's that period towards the end of his first stint at the Warriors, his time at the Sharks, and his first season back at the Warriors, where injuries just hammer his career. And he misses so much game time, which also impacts the sides that he's playing for in regards to his halves partner and the spine and the creativity of a team. It does impact the Warriors because he's missing a lot of game time. It does impact the Sharks because Matt Moylan is more of a fullback, has to play in the halves. And it disrupts the Sharks with their spine and what they want to do. Going back to the Warriors, this leads to the rise of Metcalf. Metcalf starts to get a run in the side because Shaun Johnson's banged up. They do in 2023. They do form a brilliant partnership, because Harris Tavita takes that sabbatical year off, and so Metcalf is paired with Johnson. And 2023, that's where it really starts to pay dividends. Now, Metcalf's having a brilliant start to the 2024 season post Shaun Johnson, but you can see the impact Shaun Johnson has left on Metcalf as a halves player, and even Harris Tavita as well, because Harris Tavita can also play fullback and hooker, but you can see the impact he's left on the current halves partnership at the Warriors with how he had adapted his game towards the end of his career because of injuries. He lost that bit of pace. He became a more rounded player and a little bit less of a flair player. A bit like Benji Marshall is the best way I can describe Shaun Johnson. Since retiring, he has done some media work with Fox Sports. He has had some media appearances on various panel shows and on the football NRL coverage. And it seems that he is transitioning into a media role. He's done some of the boxing and MMA events as well. And he is slowly transitioning into that media role that a lot of ex-players have. Now, whether he will do that full-time, we shall see, or whether he goes into coaching, we shall see. I think he works very well as a studio pundit and as an ex-playing expert. He comes across quite well and quite relaxed and quite natural, I think, in the media. So he may have a potential pathway there. He's also a very colourful character as well. He's a very fun character. He's a very honest character. He's brilliant in interviews. But he's already done, as I say, a bit of media work, and that looks like a potential career path going forward post-playing. But there we go. There is the career of Shaun Johnson. I have delayed doing this video for too long. I should have done it at the end of last season. But there we go. We've now done the video on the career of Shaun Johnson. I'm going to look at some other players who've retired and do some more career videos, I think, because they're fun to do. But thank you very much for watching. Place your thoughts in the comments section below. I want to hear from fans of both the Warriors and the Sharks, what their views are on Shaun Johnson as a player. Did the Sharks not really get to see the best of Shaun Johnson? Probably not. I would argue the 2023 season and the 2011 season are his two best seasons in the NRL. The things he could do were just fantastic, and it's a shame that injuries did shorten his career. But there we go. Thank you very much for watching. Place your thoughts in the comments section below. I will have some more content for you all very, very soon, but from me for now it is goodbye, and thank you for all the support. Please hit like, subscribe, and memberships and all the rest. But from me for now, it is goodbye.